Best Damn Sports Podcast, period. 806. 806. 806. Catching the vibe. 806. I love a night. 806. 806. 806. 806. Shout out G. 806. 806.
We're now in the mix with DJ Wolfka.
You already know what it is. It's your boy Melly Mellon. This is the Best Damn Sports Podcast, period. This is 806 The Show. We got a fantastic episode for y'all. As always, I am joined by my co-host to the left, former YS Super Chinese food connoisseur, the heavyweight champion of the world. Make some noise for Ori G.
What's up, guys?
And filling in for our co-host to the right, the all-time leader in personal fouls. Make some noise for Manny G.
Let's go.
I love when we don't even question it. We're just like,
Yeah, all-time leaders.
Facts only on this podcast. Like
Facts only and coming back
Draymond Green
for
all day.
another visit. Make some noise for our state representatives from Salem, Massachusetts, Manny Cruz.
Welcome. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. Appreciate the invitation.
I didn't know whether I wanted to go with Mass or Massachusetts, so I stumbled between the words. But we got it. We got it. So you know, if Manny Cruz is here, that means it's gonna be a lot of Celtics talk.
Celtics fan.
That's right.
Stay rep.
Unfortunately, when we booked this appearance, we were under the impression that the Celtics would still be playing during your appearance. Unfortunately, they are not.
It was a shocker.
I wouldn't say shocker. Surprised. Shocked. I was surprised.
Shock is surprised, right?
No, it's like a level above
That's
surprise.
a little, okay.
Right.
I love the tears here.
yeah.
They're good.
What are your thoughts on what went wrong? What went wrong?
I'm always going to start with what went right this season.
He always does.
I always do this. I flip the script. You know, I
Yeah,
have
okay.
to do it. Let's start with where we were at the end of last season.
Yeah.
We lost our best player, tore his Achilles.
Yep.
The teardown happened so that we could get under the second apron, down to the first, almost right down to the tax line. And the expectations for this team were this was going to be a lottery team competing for one of those top 3 picks. And this team exceeded every single expectation. Despite an 0-3 start, they came together.
I forgot about that. You're right.
Yeah, 0-3 start. I went to the home opener, and you could see it then that they were planning on competing every single night. And it was a really special season. We saw a lot of growth from some of the guys that were role players who played alongside of our champions. And we saw Jaylen Brown take the next step in his leadership in a way that
Shout out to JB.
JB,
I think was profound.
that mid-range.
Yeah, and I'm incredibly proud of them because they could have folded under the pressure, but instead what they showed us is that adversity is also a great motivator, and they didn't listen to the outside noise. They set their own expectations for who they could be, and I said it at the beginning. We have a group chat, and I said anything we got this year was a bonus, and that's the way that I'm looking at it. Like, this was a really special year because of the growth that we saw from all of our role players. Tatum live documenting his process for coming back in record time from that injury. And then the way that they were performing at the end of the season, they had us all believing that they were contenders. But fundamentally, what we saw go wrong in the matchup with Philly is we didn't have an answer for Joel Embiid.
That man had 3 good games the entire season. They just happened to be in this series against the Celtics.
Man.
That's literally what happened.
He came back with an appendix injury or something.
Is there
That's
proof
right.
of that appendix injury? Because I was like, he just said it, and all of a sudden he came back fine. I was like, do we have documented
So
proof?
within the week,
that's
he's
what
back
happened.
playing.
Oh, we were just resting his knees and like, listen, they can't. They're not going to follow up on the appendix thing. We can just say that.
They must have to, right?
Yeah, I don't think they're relying on the injury report. Philly's dealt with enough stuff this year. You know, between Paul George's steroids and Joel Embiid being out of the lineup, I don't think they wanted any more issues. But I think that was the main issue for us is that we had a game plan that worked really well in the first 4 games, even though we ended up losing one to them. And Joel Embiid came back and looked like the Joel Embiid that was an MVP. And fundamentally, like when I looked at the matchup between us and Philly, They were a pretty strong outing for us all year. Like I believe that Tyrese Maxey, one way or another, was going to get a game.
Yeah,
they were going to win a game.
So I remember looking at the series and like, if you didn't watch basketball the entire season, right, and you just like, all right, I'm gonna start with the playoffs, and you just look at the roster, you're like, Philly might have arguably been more talented than the Celtics team if you really break it down. Obviously, Tatum at full strength. Obviously, it'll be
like
different.
if you're like a casual looking at the
Casual
rosters.
looking like, all right, they got Paul George.
No, they don't value.
They got
Pritchard as
Maxey.
much.
Edgecombe is good lord. What a find they got from him. You know what I mean?
Good pick.
Yeah.
And Joel Embiid, either MVP or no show. But on nights that he's an MVP, damn, they look good. And unfortunately, it was wrong place, wrong time for the Celtics.
They got it together at the perfect time. And I feel like a lot of our the role players, the supporting cast, they were all young players. I feel like they struggled with the playoff energy.
I mean, let's
like from the beginning. As soon as they started, I feel like they.
Derek White had a tough season.
Yeah,
Derek White had a tough season. He wasn't hitting shots, and we needed players to step up. JB took that extra step when Tatum was out. I don't think Derek White. Obviously, we didn't expect him to be JB or anything near that, but a little step. Pritchard was here and there. I, from the jump, said I didn't think he should be in the starting lineup. I think he works better off the bench. And then when he moved him to the bench, I think he improved much better after that.
Always has, yeah.
I didn't think we were going to miss. Well, who did we just trade? Was it Simons? I didn't think we were actually going to miss them. That was a gamble that unfortunately we lost.
Yeah,
that was a dice roll that we snake-eyed on it, unfortunately. You know?
He was a casualty of the CBA. And they were trying to get as close or under the tax line so that they could have future flexibility, get their picks back. I also think the thing that we have to just call out is like when the Celtics have JB and Jason Tatum playing at 100% in a Game 7, they've had some really historic performances.
Yeah.
Their record, I think, is like 11-3 in those Game 7s. So they're in a really strong position to win that game if Tatum plays. But he was a late scratch. And I was at the game on Game 7. And that was... Let me tell you, the Garden at one point was like a morgue. I think it was only my section. Shout out Section 327.
Hey.
We kept that place rocking because we were like, we
turn that
believed.
off, Manny?
And we got to...
That's not me.
Yeah, that sounds like that's somebody else.
That's not me.
But we were in that game in the third and the fourth quarter. The Celtics that we saw all season, they showed up in a way that I think was a testament to their work ethic. And then it just came down to that last 2 minutes. We just didn't have enough.
Yeah.
Do you think... All right, Manny, my bad.
My only issue is, and this is going to contradict everything because they were up 3-1. But my only issue is you guys saw how well the season went with JB running the ship and the rotation in there. Everybody just performing, just doing what we thought they weren't going to do.
You think JT ruined the chemistry?
I'm not going to say 100%, but granted, he did come back from his Achilles injury, but we all know, and he did put in some work, but we all know that wasn't completely fully Tatum.
No.
He wasn't 100% Tatum,
And I think that messed up the chemistry, and him not being 100% kind of screwed things up the last 3 games that they needed to at least have one to close out.
he was the only net positive plus minus of the entire Celtics in those last 3 games that he played. The rest of the team, I just think, again, that talent gap did show up against Philly. They got a boost from Embiid coming back in a way that was pretty significant. And like the record reflects, when Jason Tatum came back, the offense was good, the defense was good. He was deferring. I think that the issue is actually Joe Mazzulla got away from what led them to success in that series. He started going back to the 2024 championship offense in those last couple of games, whale hunting, looking for the right matchups, but you didn't have the same talent. There's no Porzingis, there's no Holiday, and you were playing Tatum, a guy that was on a minutes restriction, 40 minutes a night, and then what happened? The last game, he gets a knee injury and the other leg that wasn't repaired. I do think that, and I love Joe to death, I think that they ran their front 7, like, all the way down to the ground. They didn't have anything left in the tank. And by the time you invited those bench guys to come back into the rotation, they didn't have the same confidence that they were contributing.
Do you think that was if Tatum wasn't coming back from an Achilles, does he play that Game 7?
I think Tatum 100% plays that Game 7 if he wasn't coming back from the Achilles injury. The risk that you run after one of those major issues with a leg, a knee, is that the other leg is actually not as strong. Yeah. And he even came out and said it. One of my legs is smaller. That is the work that I'm doing in the postseason. It's the non-surgically repaired leg. So, and remember, he tore his Achilles, and he said this in a recent podcast interview. And the Achilles, the doctors told him, was actually structurally sound. So there wasn't like an issue that was bubbling up. So imagine, you got a guy that comes back from a surgically repaired Achilles, and you've got this weaker leg, and you're having knee soreness and a calf strain.
Yeah, I don't think we can blame the Celtics. They made the right decision. You can't. And obviously, they thought that they could get the W without Tatum.
And they almost did.
They almost did.
Yeah,
we could have.
So we take the long view as the Celtics. We got 18 banners. We've been around for a long time. Yeah. This one's a disappointment, but I feel like every year that we don't win a championship, that's how I feel anyway. So whether it's 3-1.
This is a learning year.
And you got to remember, like, there's 29 teams that don't win the championship every year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like...
It's real.
I know we live in Boston and expectations... Now is championship or bust, I feel, with every one of our sports teams.
But think about the beginning of the season. People like Walsh, Shireman, like all these players. Hauser was always Hauser, but they improved all season.
Yeah,
like
Keita.
Like no matter
Keita
what we took from whoever we have for next season, they're gonna be confident. They're gonna it's gonna be different than like.
So later in a little foreshadowing to the episode. Later in the episode, we're gonna play GMs to a bunch of teams, and it might as well start with the home team here with the Celtics. What does the future look like for the Celtics? We do have those two superstar players with their huge contracts. We hear the buzzing. The same, honestly, buzzing we've heard for the last 10, 15 years. But what I want to say is I don't think we're going to trade JB. But this is the most unsure of that fact I've ever been.
Really?
Because we never really, remember, everything else was outside. It's always outside. We're just like, yeah, whatever, outside. Man, that interview, that Twitch interview the next day did not look good. I don't that one not enough that I think they'll trade him, but it was just like
I think he cleared
it made me just go like,
yeah.
That was the first time ever that I had a little bit of doubt. I don't think even if he wants to be out, something's like, yeah, all right. I don't think they're gonna move him. Yeah. But that was the first little like, damn, maybe like again, he won his championship, he got his finals MVP.
He cleared that up, though.
Maybe of course, he's going to say the right thing.
No, but he said, he look what he does for the community here. Like,
he's a great person for the community.
Like, it's not as easy to detach from something like this. Like, after all the years they got the ring. But you're just going to be like, I'm out of here. And like,
I hear what you're saying, Melvin, about the optics, and that's what a lot of the talking heads, Stephen A. Smith and others, are focused on, of the optics of coming off a loss and doing it. It was so consistent with who JB has been all season. He's been live streaming, using his own voice, building his own narrative after every game, win or loss. Yeah. I think the more inconsistent thing would have been for him to just go hide and run away from the thing that he's trying to build because they had a bad outing. Yeah. And I get that for some Boston fans, they're like, I want the guy after you lose in a playoff series and a historic loss, like you should go on vacation. We don't want to see you go 0 dark 30.
But I don't think it was the talking wasn't. It's the day after you get eliminated. You shouldn't probably say that was your favorite season. You know what I mean? Those words like
that was his best season.
It was the timing of it. A day later, just like so that the creep of a little bit of doubt. Again, I don't think they're moving him. I don't think you need to move him. I don't think I want to dead the Giannis stuff. Please, I do not want that Achilles is holding on to a thread. I don't want to put in the universe because I would never wish that upon any athlete. But man, how many times have we seen like calf strain, and then eventually, bang.
Now I know I'm on a media show, and I'm just gonna say, I do think that the pushback I will give is that JB was very clear at the presser. Right, that's the NBA-controlled environment, that he wasn't ready to give his full thoughts and his reflections when he was being asked. He gave much shorter, less exposition when it was the end-of-season interviews after the game. He said, I'll have more thoughts and I want to reflect later. And that's exactly what he did. He went on to his stream and he started reflecting on the season and what it was that he loved about it And the clip farming, the clickbait media took that
I
one part.
I might have fell for it. I might have fell for it. I
mean,
saw the clip. I can admit, I didn't watch the whole stream.
Take everything out of
It-
context.
It's
and
like
stuff.
2 hours worth of stream that people really got to listen to, and then even the follow up one where he has to clarify. And like, I love Legend, I love the T Mac relationship with him and JB, but like T Mac did him dirty as a mentor.
That didn't help. That didn't help.
Anything I say to you as a friend, like privately about like the ways that I want to grow, like what I got going on, like you can't take that and bring that into an interview. That's not a source. You're supposed to be his mentor. That's how you've been billed. But then all of a sudden he's like, I'm hearing blah 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 blah, and then JB's got to come out. So I
Then
actually
he quickly backpedaled a couple days later. I think he definitely got that.
Yeah.
JB's camp definitely made that phone call. Like, bro, come on, like
you can't do that as a mentor.
JB is JB's camp.
So I think JB's a Celtic for life as long as he wants to be.
Yeah.
And I do think like the future of the Celtics, it's incredibly bright when you consider what we were able to do this year from a financial standpoint. They have control of their draft picks.
Yeah.
They have a $27 million trade exception
we
from
keep
that.
forgetting that.
From the Anthony Simons trade. So when you think about that TPE, you can actually fit 2 players into that. You could get 1 player. So if you look at all the guys that are making $27 million right now, you can get them on the Celtics for
For all of our 806
No
fans,
sense out.
for all of our 806 fans, Manny has graciously been on here a couple times,
sir.
and he has a funny little habit of predicting free agent signings and Celtics.
yeah,
I
right.
think he's like 2 for 2 or 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Now,
Brogdon.
I'm gonna ask you
yeah,
who
right.
some people you should go to. Remember, your word holds weight on the podcast, so. Brad might be listening. He's like, you know what, man? That's a good idea.
Good idea. We should target
So I want to focus on some of the additions that I think will make up for what we saw happen with the bench, where we just didn't have enough to stop Embiid. And if we didn't have enough to stop Embiid, good luck with Wemby, good luck with Chet, good luck with the other guys that were on the other side. So I do think there will be a reunion between the Celtics and Al Horford.
All
I
right.
predicted.
Still?
It did. Listen, he was your Embiid stopper for so many years.
Think about it. He went to the six. No, was it OKC first?
Yep.
Celtics, Sixers, Celtics,
Yep. And then we win the
Warriors.
chip every time he comes back.
Celtics. That'd be crazy.
They it's a very known fact that them and the whole family, they love Boston.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and again,
They got a little. Boston's a good culture.
I could see it.
yeah, why not? It's just like, if the money's right, why not?
And listen, I loved what we saw out of Luka Garza, but I think Al Horford will add that calming veteran presence. And then defensively, when we start playing those other bigs, he's going to be able to help the Celtics bigs figure out their play style. We were missing that this season. So I think that's like an end-of-bench guy that you're going to bring in, give you some good contributions. But in terms of targets, like the guys that I'm thinking about is like Walker Kessler out of Utah.
That was the first person on my
Lauri
mind.
Markkanen. Those are the types of guys that I think are good fits for the Celtics. But then you just have to look at like the rest of the board that's out there of like either disgruntled veteran players that are in bad situations. Like look at Washington. They got Anthony Davis now. You know, people are talking about, are the Celtics going to make another splash for a max contract guy? Wow. That's a person who's been linked to the Celtics in the past.
I don't think you give up a lot to get. I think AD is.
I think you can get him cheap as possible
he's
right
on
now.
discount. He's on a discount rack
He's on
right
sale
now.
right now.
And if you can get him at like maybe to play 50, 55 games, and you're giving up nothing,
Give him a pick.
that's not a bad. That's not the worst.
Give him a pick and some cast.
Here's why I think major moves are going to happen. Now, I do see JB leaving, but not now. I think he's going to sign this 2-year extension that's coming up, right? I think he's going to sign and tell Boston, after these 2 years, I'm out. And this is a small window that's going to close. They're going to put it together and hopefully get these next 2 championship runs under their belt. But I don't see JB as a lifetime Celtic. I've said it many times to you guys in the group chat. We need a real KG presence down there. We're not gonna.
We can do that with.
Yeah, so if we got something like Kessler, like you
We
guys
got
just mentioned,
Porzingis without having to move JB. So
Right.
that'd be-
Andrew Holiday.
So I think we have some options, some salaries that we can put together to
go
try to get
get-
another big. So
That's crazy.
Utah has a lot of bigs,
And Danny
they're not
Ainge
using.
loves to do business.
And the thing with Danny
the
is, they're the second pick in the draft. I believe. I don't know whether I said this. Sorry, my memory. I don't know if I said this on the pod or I was talking to group chat or I was talking to somebody. I don't remember. But I believe Utah, you don't invest all that money on DeBonsa and just be like, damn, all right, we couldn't get him. You're going to try to move up to 1.
Yep.
And if I'm the Wizards, why not? Like, what do you lose? The Peterson is I think 3 out of the 4. I don't know about Boozer, even though he's come from Duke. I'm not 100% sure he would be a number 1 in any other draft. 3 of those guys are number 1 in any other draft. So you're getting a number 1 pick regardless.
Yeah.
But if that doesn't happen, you're gonna draft AJ. Yeah, he can play at 3, but he's big. I think one of those bigs are probably disposable in the Jazz, and Danny Ainge loves to, hit up his former team and make some moves. So I'm not.
He always, yeah.
Kessler would be a good pickup.
It's the craziest thing.
What his contract would look like, I don't know if it's
top of the head.
I don't know.
He just right away.
Do we take I know this is just for jokes. Do we get do we take a try on Ayton? Because he's out of LA.
That is absolutely no. I think the Lakers should re-sign Ayton for the rest of eternity.
Yeah.
That would make me very happy as a Celtics fan.
That's a good idea.
I think a bunch of people on this table right now actually called that the Ayton signing was not going to be very good.
Horrible. They thought they got Wilt. They really thought they got Wilt or something.
Man, I see the highlight tape.
I honestly believe that he's either on a minimum deal in one of these teams, or he's out the league. After what he just did. Well, you can literally see J.J. Redick talk to his assistant coach like, I can't play the guy. When you see that,
he's more focused on his domination brand than he is.
Again, talk about bad timing. You're down 3-0 and you show that on Instagram.
Yeah,
I see the highlight tape.
If I'm LeBron, I'm punching you in the mouth.
I see the highlight tape of him missing catches. It was like you have too many missed catches that
he got bad hands.
Speaking of veteran preferences for the Celtics and all the contenders that we're going to talk about later, we have heard the rumor now from Shams and others that LeBron James has received outreach from every single contender that's been eliminated from the playoffs. So
and that is including us. I could tell you, trust me, I talk to him all the time. LeBron James will never be in a Boston Celtics uniform.
I agree with
this
that.
Man,
never say never.
This man doesn't even play on road games in Boston.
I think Boston
he might have a change of heart.
hate his arrival.
He's cool with Tatum and
Lakers. He won LA a championship, and they don't even embrace him. What do you think we're gonna do?
Well, I'm certainly not advocating for LeBron to join us, but I think you were mentioning him wanting to ship Ayton out of town. I actually think LeBron is out of town. Is the point what I was going to make.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he's probably looking at greener pastures in the Eastern Conference, and the team that I'm thinking that LeBron wants to go to, where he has 2 competent bigs that he can actually throw the ball to that know how to catch. Cleveland.
Back to Cleveland.
Storybook ending.
With James Harden, or who's leaving that?
He already won in Cleveland, though. I heard he doesn't want to go back. Because he already.
I don't know what sources you have, but
but go back a third time. Because come on, what are we doing?
What a better way to end your story with your farewell tour in your hometown team with 2 bigs and Donovan Mitchell.
They burned his jersey.
I don't know.
And he went back.
He went back. I don't know.
And I think in LA they burned his jersey.
Is he willing to take the minimum to go play somewhere? Because you're gonna have I don't think Cleveland can afford him if he doesn't take the minimum.
The minimum is crazy.
He would have to take the minimum, but I don't think he will because he has to set the market for all these old guys that are playing now, and they're playing very well.
Yeah.
And I know that if I'm KD and if I'm Steph Curry, I'd be mad if he took the minimum.
These are the best old players I've ever seen in my life.
LeBron James is the best old person you've ever seen in your life.
LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Curry, James Harden. What?
I think he's going to Golden State, play with Curry.
I'm not mad at that.
That's a good one.
I'm not mad at that
That's the one that I think is going to happen.
I'm not mad at that one because
everybody sees it.
Listen, LeBron haters are going to be LeBron haters, but there's a couple teams where I could be like, all right, if you go to OKC or San Antonio, I swear to God, I'm gonna boycott the NBA. Even the Knicks is kind of like,
you don't want that.
A year.
You don't want that right now.
Imagine First Take with LeBron James on the damn Knicks. Oh my God, I don't want to. I don't want to see the. I don't want to even see ESPN for a whole year of LeBron James in the Knicks uniform.
I don't think he wants
Golden
that.
State will be like, all right. It wouldn't have been okay if he 5 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago, for him to go to Golden State. I think we would have killed him then.
Right now,
now you're like, you know what?
That's fine. I would like to see Curry and finally
because he's like, I don't care what team he goes in the West.
The USA Gold.
San Antonio and Oklahoma City are battling for the next decade.
They're running the table.
So it doesn't really matter.
And
so I think he tries to go out the East.
And he knows that.
Maybe he Hey, I saw him. That's the first time I've ever seen him and Pat Riley since he left. Looking pretty friendly with each other. I know everybody always says Miami Heat as the number one free agent destination.
Because they got nobody. It's like,
well, they have Bam now, so I think Melvin's point's a good one. If he's looking at the East, it's going back to a place he's already been. He's got some relationships, and it's the farewell tour. I think we're calling the end. The only other option in the East that I think he would consider, because nepotism runs rampant there, is Milwaukee. Because then it could be him and his son in Milwaukee with Giannis and his brothers.
He wants to win though.
the whole family.
I'm kidding.
He wants to win though. He's chasing that one
Does
more
he?
ring. Yeah, he wants one more ring.
No, let's be. Does LeBron James really want to win championships right now?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he wants to, but I don't think
I think he wants to, like every NBA player wants to.
Like,
We all want to.
He can't tap
It's like
into that.
we all want to be rich, right? Like, of course he wants one, but does he really? Like, is he locked in?
No.
If he was locked in, he would have shaved off some of that contract in the last negotiation. I'm with you, Melvin. I don't know if he wants to win at this point.
Arguably, and this might be blasphemous, I don't know if he was ever 1,000% locked in on winning championships when he went to LA. I thought LA was always a business move. Always.
that too.
And hey, you won a championship, whether you want to call it whatever you want to call it, whether it counts or not, but he did win one.
Yeah,
and a lot, I think a lot of people are saying, like, if he leaves the Lakers, is his tenure unsuccessful? No. Like, do you remember the Lakers before LeBron got there? There were nothing. Those
They
10
were in
years
transition.
was horrible. And he got him a championship, and they were at least relevant. I think there was a couple years where he either played or didn't make it, but there was a playoff team most times. So I think it was a success. The problem is that was always going to be Kobe's town, and I said it in a couple episodes before that Kobe not being here to be like, yo,
Stamp it, yeah.
lay off the guy. He's a Laker. He's a Laker.
But
now.
even like,
him not
same
being
way
here.
that dap when Kobe was retired and he went to the Lakers game, I feel like that kind of calmed it a little
I
bit.
know, but it was like
If only it was like,
But they never really embraced LeBron.
they were never going to. And I think LeBron. I think his arrogance was like, if I win, they're gonna love me. I'm like, bro, that's just Kobe's town, and it was always gonna be Kobe's town.
That's right.
All right, we spoke about the Giannis thing. It's getting to the point that, like, I think there's no way you keep him. There's no way you bring him back. At this point, it's a bad marriage. They need to break up. It's the most passive aggressive divorce I've ever seen in my life. Like, Giannis is literally Dwight Howard 2.0. This is exactly what Dwight Howard did to Stan Van Gundy in the Magic. Exact to a T. I love it here. I don't ever want to go behind the scenes. Get me out of here, please.
excuse me.
Again, destinations for Giannis, it's always the Knicks, but like I don't think the Knicks pull a trigger if you're going to the finals, even if OKC or San Antonio sweeps you. At that point, if you go to the finals, I don't think you can make a move like that unless you really
Who's capable of making a move?
So
the same people.
I think it's the same group of people. It's the Knicks. Minnesota takes a good look at it. I think Boston picks up the phone, but they're definitely not in. And then you imagine that some of the teams out west, maybe a couple of them are going to want to take flyers. Like, does Denver have enough to put together a package for Giannis? Jamal Murray, send him out of town. Do you get Giannis back? So I think all the contenders have to take a hard look at it.
The Denver is not like it's interesting because Denver.
I don't think it works.
All right, we'll talk about that. Is that in the list of the teams we're going to talk about real quick?
Yeah.
Denver is in an interesting position now. I think they realize, like, damn, we don't have enough to contend with these super teams that we have here. Do we do the Hail Mary? Because again, going for Giannis, the Hail Mary, you're extending your window maybe a couple more years, hopefully. So Denver's not a bad thing. Again, we have the Miami, which is like
Miami has missed on every major free agent
every single one.
since LeBron. They got Jimmy Butler on the cheap because he was
up to no-
cancer
He was being
in
Jimmy
Minnesota,
Butler.
He was up to no
Chicago,
good. Yeah,
and the Sixers.
He was being Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
I think Miami's is
They don't want to let go of Tyler Hero or
which I don't
Bam.
understand because I think at this point,
I would-
Bam's not going anywhere. I think at this point they're ready for Tyler Hero to go. I think at this point,
Yeah, they offered him up for the Dame Lillard back when Dame was healthy.
Golden
so.
State, I wouldn't be mad at that. Hey, there is a universe. I don't think you're gonna know where I'm going with this. There's a universe where Giannis gets traded to Golden State, and LeBron James says, "Damn, that team don't look that bad." LeBron, Giannis, and Steph.
Last time a bunch of 30-year-olds got together to try to win a championship. I'm trying to remember which team was that. Was that the Lakers? Yeah, that was the Lakers. How did that work out again?
I remember it was.
I mean, there's not a lot of options.
I mean, Minnesota's doing a complete rebuild, so you never know.
I don't know about complete rebuild.
Not complete, but they just got. We're going to get into it later, but I think Minnesota is one that makes the most sense from a basketball perspective. I think Giannis and Ant complement each other.
That's a good one.
Very well. But yeah, Giannis is definitely done. The divorce is, I think it's even more toxic than people are willing to admit.
Yeah.
And, it's unfortunate because Giannis, like, if you remember, when he won that championship, we were all saying, like, the league might be his at this point. Like, there was no one else that had his skill set, his size, and then Wemby comes along. And
what I'll never understand is why they traded Drew Holiday. It was for Dame.
That's people.
It was
a panic move.
It was a panic move. They're like, all right, we need one more. Like,
They need one more star. Like,
say whatever you want about Milwaukee. For the last 10 years, they've tried bend over backwards to get Giannis the positions to win. So, they did their best. At this point, they should have been smart enough to be like, all right, we did what we wanted. It is what it is. All right. If y'all had to put your life savings on the line, I'm going to go around the table. Opening day of next season, where's Giannis? What jersey does Giannis have on?
I'm gonna say Knicks.
Knicks. Okay. Not too bad. Definitely the front runner. Was the front runner at least last summer. All right, Manny, what do you?
I think Minnesota.
Minnesota. This is a tough choice, but I'm gonna have to say Miami. I'm gonna have to.
I think I'm gonna go with like Miami too. What crazy thing that I don't know if this is crazy for me to say.
Picture it.
I don't know if the market is that great for Giannis right now. That like think about it. The teams that like who probably just need one team, like Minnesota's there. I don't know if they have the assets. Golden State probably doesn't make a difference if he goes on the team. San Antonio, OKC don't need him. Knicks, I like the Knicks. If the Knicks got eliminated in the first round, for sure. But now, like, damn, they're about to go to finals. I'm thinking I got them over Cleveland. So I think. So you can. I don't know if you go to the finals because you're
depends on this.
And the reason is you're playing so well is because you gave Towns the ball, and if you're getting Giannis, Towns is in the trade.
They took that advice to heart.
I'm just predicting them losing to Cleveland, and they're gonna shake things up.
It's a very New York thing to do to lose to Cleveland. I'm not mad at that.
It's
very Knicks.
very believable.
And I know Cookie's on me right now. He's like, he had me every time on the podcast when we lose. We're about to go to finals and haven't got the text yet. I got you, Cookie. Don't worry. I got you. All right, let's play GM.
Play GM.
We're going to pretend we are the GMs of this team and what moves you would make. We mentioned Mr. James. I'm going to start with the Lakers. I honestly, if I'm, Pelinka? If I'm Pelinka, Melvin Pelinka, I don't know if I want to give $50-60 million a year to Austin Reeves.
I feel you.
I don't know, because that means your two highest players are two players that can't guard nobody.
Right.
Maybe you let the Jazz overpay for him, which they will, and you sign LeBron on a friendly $20-25 million a year deal. You use the rest to like get some pieces around, and you make one last run at it before LeBron's gone, and then you just surround Luka with the rest. Because I think you surround Luka. You would surround Luka the same people you would surround LeBron with. It's the same. Maybe the lob threat. I know LeBron wants a lob threat too. So like, if you're building for Luka, you could still kind of build for LeBron too. So I wouldn't pay Austin Reeves. He didn't seem. Did I look like a $60 million guy a year against OKC? That didn't look like it to me.
Look like a good player, but I wouldn't pay that much either.
Not that much.
That's what you're gonna have to. He's gonna want the max. You're gonna have to.
I know.
Ariel Pelinka, what are you doing if you're the Lakers?
What are you doing, Ariel Pelinka?
For the first time ever in the history of freaking 806 The Show, I agree with Melvin.
It's been more often than that. I don't know why you made it sound like that. I think we agreed like 10 minutes ago.
I know. But I agree. I feel like we should date one. We should see.
You're the GM. You got the hat on.
No. You're playing the role.
I can't be a Laker.
You're a method actor. You're a method actor.
I'm not a Laker. But I feel like LeBron is a player I feel like you should just keep till the end of his retirement. Austin Reeves, I don't want to pay that much for Austin Reeves. You can use that money to get someone that's not Ayton. I feel like you get rid of Ayton somehow. If you can, I don't know. I honestly don't even know his contract right now, but I would try to trade him.
Ayton's making like $8 million or less.
Yeah, I think he has a team option or something.
Yeah,
which they probably won't pick up. They'll just be like, yeah, maybe they'll hold on to it if like we couldn't get anybody else. I guess you can come back.
I think they need to focus on like a good 3-and-D player.
I think
someone
Manny talked
specifically.
about Kessler. I think Lakers are going to be battling Celtics for Kessler.
Definitely.
Or big from there. A big is definitely needed. It's paying Austin Reeves that much money. It's just like,
It's like,
I don't know. Because if you pay him the max, LeBron is probably out the question after that.
You can't have 3 max guys making
unless he takes the minimum, which I don't know if I don't think he does. Maybe if the relationship is better. I think it's the relationship between the Lakers is a little overplayed. Like, yes, he's one of the greatest players in the world. He's going to be annoying. He's going to push his weight around a little bit around the organization.
Mm-hmm.
But you think Kobe was a pleasant person in the last few years? Was he in LA? I don't think so.
probably had the red carpet out for him.
Yeah, I've literally seen him. You see the stories of him landing on a helicopter, getting on a golf cart, driving to the plane. Like, they're treating Kobe like that, and like, you know what I mean. Like, when you're that's the stuff that you just get when you're the one of the greatest of all time. Like, Manny, what do you think? If you're Pelinka, what do you do?
Making me put on a Laker hat.
I
It's
know.
terrible. Sell the team back to Minnesota and ship off the players for the expansive draft. No, in all seriousness, if I'm the Lakers, there is no farewell tour for LeBron. He's not a Laker all-time great, so you got to move on from him. Fundamentally, as long as he's on the team, I think he's in the way of Luka's development. His contract has been a problem, and they're already like close to the second apron. So I don't think that there's financially a way that you can bring him back and then start thinking about giving Reeves a contract extension and really building out a team that is more future-facing, that aligns with Luka's timetable. Because you have to convince Luka now to stay in LA. I don't know if you do that by giving LeBron another year and wasting a year of Luka's prime because they just don't have enough to beat OKC or the Spurs. So, I'm thinking it's time to send him off ceremoniously, try to work out a sign-and trade so you can get something back. That's the ideal situation is if you do a sign-and trade, you get something back that's equivalent of what you would have paid LeBron, and then you got to move off like some of these other guys. Like the Marcus Smart thing is that was an interesting experiment. He's got to go. Bronny's got to go, and you got to get Luka.
Oh, there's no chance. There's no chance Bronny stays on the team if LeBron is. I don't know if Bronny stays in the league if LeBron's not in the league. To be honest with you,
he's a G League guy. I think he's a G League guy waiting for development somewhere else. So I'm with you on that front. And I think the best thing for this team is they need to pair Luka with what worked well for him in Dallas. He needs defenders. He needs lob threats. He needs guys that can play that 3-and-D role. And you got to give him a real guard that he can play next to. And I'm not talking about like with Reeves' game. You want a guy that can facilitate, take the pressure off him as a ball handler, and that can guard, right? So like the ideal situation to me is like if you could get Luka paired with Drew Holiday, who's like stuck in Portland, which we know is like basketball purgatory. That's the ideal type of player for Luka to play alongside. Even though he's a veteran, even though he's aging, like that's the kind of guy you want to give him, and then go get a young running mate. But it's not Reeves. I agree with you guys 100%.
Drew
Reeves
Holiday
cannot be the guy.
is always the key. A Drew Holiday player is always going to be the key.
And again, I don't put a lot of stock in the last 2 months of the regular season. Like we're like, oh, Portland had a good run. Yeah, you're playing against 8 teams that like are trying to lose. Like anyway, I think that's why like Atlanta like look great because you're playing. You know what I mean? A lot of these like lower seed Eastern Conference, Western Conference teams like. Realistically, in a regular year, you're probably not
Atlanta
in contention.
also like started building a little
late after the Trae Young trade.
Yeah, after the Trae Young trade, a little identity.
Yeah,
And they were healthy.
Manny, if you're Pelinka, what do you do?
So if I'm the GM, the first thing I'm doing is I'm calling Milwaukee and asking them how much more it'll take with Reeves and Ayton. And then I'm letting them know I'm giving them Bronny Jr. for free. And try to get Giannis down to pair up with Luka.
That's not the worst idea.
Then that'll give some consideration for LeBron to sign not too expensive. And maybe those three can give us a chance at a title run.
So LeBron, Giannis, and Luka.
Yeah. That's the only way LeBron will stay. If the phones ring and they accept a trade where Giannis comes to LA, LeBron's going to stay.
The only question I have that, like, as the Lakers, do you want to re-sign Giannis? Because you're going to have to give him an extension eventually.
You don't have to.
I mean, I think whatever team he goes to, I think that has to. That's like a backdoor deal. Like, listen, like we'll trade for you. We got like pretty much agree.
I mean,
pretty much agree. Like we'll extend you, bro.
That conversation is gonna have to come if it works out. You know what I mean? So,
well, I do think that the Bucks have run out of leverage on that regard, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's either he's saying he's going to commit to sign because he has less time on his deal, or Giannis does a free agency sweepstakes for him in the upcoming summer. Like, he could do that as well. So at the end of the day, the leverage is the other teams have it. They can say, I want him, but I don't want him as a rental. I don't want the Kawhi situation. I want to know he's coming long term because, I mean, you might be giving up a lot of future flexibility for a guy that, again, could just say, yeah, I'll go where you're going, but I'm a one-year rental like Kawhi, and I'm just going to leave you holding the bag afterwards.
That's not bad. Right. All right. This next team, it didn't take the most genius NBA fan to know that during the season at the trade deadline, they should probably have gotten a second scorer, which is the Detroit Pistons. I said I didn't believe in them the whole time because if you guard Cade, what do you do? And look and behold, that's exactly what happened. Detroit is in a very, very interesting situation. You had an emerging all-star come out in Jalen Duren, who's, I believe, a restricted free agent. I don't know if he's restricted or I think he's restricted. Who was in line for a pretty big deal until he was a complete no-show in the playoffs. So now, as the Pistons GM, what do you do? Man, you want to start?
Yeah. I'll definitely re-sign him, but not at the money he was looking for. You know, if he was looking for north of $100 million, not happening.
North of $100 million, wow.
Yeah. But I definitely re-sign him because he is a key contributor.
Yeah.
You know, especially alongside Cade. But what I would do is I would really go out and get myself a sharpshooter. Yeah, they got Duncan Robinson, but you know, if you're gonna contend, especially in the East,
if you're winning and losing games because you need Duncan Robinson, then like that's probably right there is probably a problem.
Yeah, you're gonna need a legit second threat that can, you know.
And it's crazy. It was so obvious that I didn't understand like why don't you when you had like Atlanta went to get the CJ McCollum, you could have got him out of Wizards for a potato chip.
Cheap.
You know what I mean? Like easily you could have got him. I don't know why you don't make that. That would have been a perfect move for Detroit. You got someone who can handle the ball.
I'm trying to think. I can't even think of anybody like that can really like fit their like a score.
Well, Manny, who were you thinking?
KD.
KD's leaving again?
Bring KD to Detroit.
I don't have Phoenix on this list, but I think we agree. I don't know if any of his teammates like him, bro. And when KD don't like his teammates, usually something happens there.
If I'm the GM, I'm calling for KD.
You calling the Rockets for KD? That's interesting.
That's not a bad.
Because with like KD or Tobias Harris, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, like they're gonna be doing the same.
And
role
Tobias
in a
Harris
way.
played like valiantly. He played as much as we needed
honestly,
from you.
Especially
he overachieved. Honestly.
He definitely like had like quite a consistent career for. Man, what do the Pistons got to definitely resign?
Here's what I think. There's a disgruntled guard out there in Memphis who's been dying to get out of there.
forgot about him.
If you're Detroit, you 4 for 4, you can get John Morant for right now.
That's a good
forgot.
culture. I feel
With
like
a
that's
Hawaiian
good
punch on the side.
That's a good culture team for a John Morant.
He still can be hood.
Like,
Like still Detroit,
like
still
the-
8 Mile. You know what I mean?
like the defensive gritty, and then him just kind of athletic with Thompson and oh man. I
And
feel
then you
it's
got
gonna
and
be
you got
good.
like beef stew and as a goon behind him in case anybody wants to talk to Ja. That's not a bad move. I don't know if I put
back the
I
bad
don't know if I'm
boy.
the GM in Detroit and that's number one on my list to do.
Not number one on the list.
But I think that's a
Bad boy Pistons,
Let me keep
number
an eye
2.
on that just in case. Who else is disgruntled? You might do what Celtics want to do. Might go get AD out of Washington. You might want. You need another guard. I don't
Yeah, you
know.
need another guard.
Maybe you throw the bag at instead of Duran. Like tell Duran, like, listen, bro, you didn't play well, and we're scared. Take this or not. And if you say not, maybe you go to LA and you put the money on Reeves.
That's an interesting thought.
Maybe you throw money at Reeves. I don't know what I'm saying is not knowing what the salary situation
I
is.
feel like
There's your second scorer
the
right there.
Pistons turned their whole team around by Cade Cunningham and Duran improving and getting that team is like. I feel like you take one of them out, the
All
team
right.
won't be the same when it
But
comes.
do you think Detroit comes back and another number one seed if Jalen Duran is your second best player? I don't know that.
I think you need another. You need a second, and then have Duran third.
Then you gotta that.
But don't forget, like,
you
these
sitting
guys
down
would
with
just-
his agent is gonna be very interesting.
They would
'Cause
definitely.
he's gonna point it. He's gonna be like, yes, in 2 weeks we didn't play well, but here's 82 games where my boy here, my client was 20-10.
Well, he did well in the match against Wendell
did not.
Carter, nah?
Oh, he had a really tough postseason.
Yeah.
Melvin's right about that. Yeah. If I'm the Detroit GM right now, I think the number one thing is you make the same move that every team before you has made. You get rid of Tobias Harris. I'm sorry to say it.
Yeah, right.
As a wing,
Yeah, it's
you can't
time.
have a 34-year-old that has like a one-dimensional game, and when he's not hitting, it looks really bad. It's rough. So I think you need to move on from Tobias Harris. You need to get a legit 3-and-D wing. The only team that I could see right now that's looking for a way to be in a rebuild. You mentioned KD. I actually think Kawhi would be a great fit down in Detroit.
Kawhi in Detroit changes the landscape of the NBA right there. I think that would make, and then we're just going to assume, just for like argument's sake, that Kawhi is going to give you at least 60 to 70 games, hopefully. That changes a lot because you don't have to drop off defensively. Even if Kawhi's not really who Kawhi's, he's regressed, I think, a little bit defensively just off of age and stuff. That'd be interesting. And I don't know if the Clippers are that. I think they might be done with Kawhi. We'll see what happens with the whole, the
Investigation.
NBA, the NBA is going to come down on that. But I think Clippers got gifted a gift from God when they got the 5th pick. And they're like, damn, all right. So I got who's the dude they just got from Cleveland? Garland. They got Garland there. I was like, all right. They got a couple pieces there. They got
Mathurin.
Mathurin is nice. I think that's a good
Mathurin
piece.
is nice.
So you have them two. You add the number 5th pick, which is it's in a loaded draft, and whatever you get for Kawhi,
You get.
that's not.
That's a good team.
I don't know now. Who knows? Nobody in
What pieces they got for Kawhi?
And Kawhi's uncle. The only
But
people know
remember,
what he wants to do. But
LA Clippers and Detroit already have a trading relationship. They went and got a superstar out of LA. They got Blake Griffin, right?
they
And
did.
got him over
You're
there.
right, that's true.
Tobias Harris was a Clipper.
Yeah. So they have a trading relationship, and that's what I always like to track. Like, have these teams traded before? Do they have some type of relationship?
Yeah.
So there's trust there that you're going to get things in good faith. And then I think, Melvin, you brought it up. The shooter situation is interesting for them. Yes, Duncan Robinson had a great year for them. It was good to see him bounce back from, I think, being on the outs in Miami. I would say that the thing that they need to do is see what's going on with Malik Beasley, right? Like, that is a situation where a guy didn't get a contract because of stuff that happened in the offseason. It's really bad stuff, but if he comes out on the other side of it,
played.
right, you can call him back and say, like, hey, we love you, Malik. This thing is cleared.
Man, I
Bring him
literally
back.
saw the Hornets quietly. Yo, Miles Bridges, get in the back of the bus,
Yeah.
bro. Nobody's gonna notice. And then, they didn't notice because we were Charlotte. We're like, hey, didn't he do? And then we just completely forgot about it. And then we saw him dunking again. We're like, oh, all right.
I didn't forget. No.
I didn't forget
No.
either.
Yeah,
Right,
these guys getting all these second chances off the domestic violence stuff was crazy to me.
Right.
You need to pay your penance.
Yeah, for sure. Another one. You got something to say?
No, what you saying?
Another one for Detroit. If Philly is done with the Paul George project, how does Paul George look at Detroit? Someone who can just score, give you 15 to 20.
He's fully healthy now.
He's whatever to me.
I mean, you're not looking for like I think Paul George.
It's not gonna help though. You really need that second.
What
guy.
about like a Tyler Hero?
Yeah,
Like they're probably trying to get rid
that's
of him.
actually a second guy.
Yeah, but Tyler Hero you're gonna take a hit defensively.
You want a guy that's on the same timetable as Cade and Duran.
Yeah.
I think like the place where I would look to, like someone's got to call Philly about Embiid and see what is going on there, right? And you got pieces. You got Beef Stew. You got
does look like a
Tobias.
Christian.
And then you got some of those guards off their bench that might be interesting to a team that again is trying to rebuild.
Do
get
you
some
want
picks.
because like if you go get Embiid, because no matter his injury history, I think that he's going to you're gonna have to trade some things for him. Like he's Joel Embiid. Like you're not trading him for nothing. I know
His value's down.
I know his value is down. It's down, but I still don't think it's gonna be like it's not John Morant down. I don't think it's John. Actually, it
No,
might,
not John Morant down.
No, he's Joel Embiid. Like especially what he saw against the Celtics.
I think he's worse than John Moran, huh?
I think his
Value-wise?
Value, I don't know.
His value
Why would
is
anybody
negative.
want to invest in that?
His value is negative. You don't have to give up the 5 picks that
no.
you see for these superstar type
Yeah, the
players.
hip, knee, ankle, appendix.
I think a few picks and a couple players, and as long as you can make the salaries match, I think Philly is looking to move off of Embiid.
But
I think his career is almost over.
can you take that?
If you're Detroit, you take that
the-
risk.
Yeah, can Detroit handle?
with Durant though.
But can
You keep Durant on the team.
all right? But can,
I don't think they
can
ever
Detroit
make-
handle the fact that like you make that move and there's a good chance it blows up in your face?
I think it will.
Will it ruin your like?
I think
Yeah,
it 90% blows up in their face.
There's a
You
chance,
don't know what you're gonna get.
but I put him on the short list because he's a former MVP, and you got to take a look at it.
Yeah,
I think you make the call.
I think it might mess up the chemistry of the what became this.
They were the number 1 seed and they lost. They're in the same situation as us. Their chemistry
I
right
know,
now
but like they built.
They need to make a call.
They were all together when they were freaking almost last place all the time.
I'd go get.
And then they grew as a team and built this up from the bottom. So it's kind of like if you take a piece out like Duran and plug in a always hurt Embiid, it might just mess.
Yeah, I don't recommend a Duran for Embiid swap. I want to be clear. I'm thinking it's like it's Embiid, Duran, and Cade. That's your 3, right? You trade in the other pieces plus draft picks to try to get him because I do think his value's diminished. The other guy that I think we should keep an eye on, if you're Detroit, and again, the thing you want is shooting, you want a running mate for Cade, you want a guy who can ball, you call Phoenix to see what's going on with Devin Booker, and then I consider a Duran trade. That's the only time I consider a Duran trade.
I
If you
don't
built a
know.
package
Now
around
that's a
Duran
now that's
for
a shooter.
Booker, that's a good fit.
That's
that
a
is-
shooter I'm talking about.
Best case of that for Detroit. I don't know if Phoenix gets rid of Devin. Like I don't know what that is. Devin Booker. That's team. There's been a lot of shakeups, and he seems to be the one.
Never know rumors that nothing.
I've never heard Devin Booker in a trade rumor.
That ain't going
at all.
nowhere.
Who did you want to bring up? I know. I'll try to get to you.
It's all good.
You're not even gonna try.
Not even gonna try.
You said, nah,
We
no,
gotta
I
talk. We
All
gotta.
right.
If I'm Detroit, though, hold on one more.
Okay.
If I'm Detroit, Julius Randle, they want to get rid of him. I'd go get Julius Randle.
That's not bad.
More thoughts on that later.
It's not bad.
That's not.
Cade, Duran, Randle. It's not a bad 3.
It gives you a second option
That's what I mean.
in the regular season.
I say, okay, I remember now.
All right, good.
Norman Powell.
oh, Jay.
Oh,
He was
I
an
kn-
all-star this year.
I never understood why the
a
Clippers
good little-
got rid of him in the first place.
He's a good bucket on the side.
What was the Clippers doing
because
the
the
last 2 years?
Clippers are the Clippers.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Clippers get rid of him.
because he really is wasting away in Miami.
Who did they get?
I have no idea.
They got like who did they get? That's a good question. I normally know like who they traded for. Who did they trade Norman Powell for?
Yeah.
I think it was like no. Was it
I don't even remember.
That's crazy.
wasn't it that guy
Bradley Beal.
No, not Bradley Beal. That is definitely not. He was not in Miami, but he should go there.
Yeah, right.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I
have no
had
idea.
to stop and
It's a
think.
terrible trade.
I had to stop and think like, where is Bradley Beal? Like I couldn't remember exactly what team he was on for a second. He's on the Clippers, by the way. If anybody, am I right?
Played 2 games.
I mean, I said he was on it. I didn't say he played.
Yeah, I think he's been released at this point.
I have no idea.
I don't even know anymore.
All right. Next team is the Wolves. Back-to-back Western Conference Finals this year. I mean, they put up a hell of a fight against Wemby and them, especially on one leg. But I think, Jesus, like Julius, I don't know if you could. We say a lot about James Harden. I don't know if you could play as bad as Julius Randle did in this playoffs. Like like being a playoff. I think he played his way out of town. I really think I think he knows it. Like, well, I should probably just like start packing because I'm out of here.
Where does he end up?
Dude, I'm not mad at Detroit. Miami's always fun for everybody. I guess
He looks like
Memphis.
yeah,
They'll ship him out to Memphis.
Grizzlies would be a perfect fit.
Ooh,
Yeah,
the
Grizzlies
Julius
is a good
Randle,
fit.
John Morant swap.
Oh dear.
I've been saying John Morant to the Wolves since the beginning.
I'm not mad at that. That'd be
It's a good move.
Just for the culture, these two freaking little lobs and little. I feel like John Morant's been sitting enough that he must be healthy by next season.
He was healthy
You know?
this season. Memphis was just tanking.
Yeah, I think they were just tanking. If it was me and I was the GM of Minnesota, Julius Randle's absolutely gone. Naz Reid was very clear. He said that the problem with our team is that we were moody. Who was the person that appeared to have the least emotional composure at the end of the season? It was Julius Randle. And Julius Randle, and I'm going to say this respectfully, has not worked out anywhere he's gone. He has a great first year with every team that he's played for. He played well with the Lakers for a year. He played well with the Pelicans, with New York. And every time he wears us out his welcome. And it's because I think, like his playing style, he just runs out of gas. So I think you got to get rid of him and you got to move him for a player. Like the team that, again, I always look at, Utah's is one. Like, do any of those other bigs fit your timeline? Trading Cat was a huge mistake. So, like, do you go out and get JJJ? Like, does Danny Ainge have an interest in that move? Right. But I definitely think like Julius Randle has to be the first thing you take care of. Like you got to move on from him. You got to bring back a legitimate second option that can work well with McDaniels and with Ant.
Hey, you can get Giannis.
So Giannis could potentially be.
So Julius Randle to the Bucks and
2 first-round picks.
Maybe 3. Maybe. If you're Minnesota, because they gave away 5 the last time.
Rudy Gobert. What do you do with him?
Well,
I don't know.
I don't think they have too many picks to trade actually now.
I don't know what you do about Rudy because like
he might be the reason they still even make it to the playoffs.
he plays so well. Like he's such highs and such lows. It's just
think
kind of
about
like
it. Ever since he got there, they've been a defensive team.
No, I get it, but like bro, he's like what 7'2", 7'3", and I get it. Wemby's Wemby. But bro, you looked horrible against Wemby, and that's who you're gonna have to be playing against.
But he looked good against Jokic. He shut down the one of the best players of all time.
That's the highs and lows, man. Highs and lows.
Yeah, it is
He's very high and low. I think the guy that you might want to take a look at again, if you're trying to offload someone that has negative value, maybe Kevin Durant and Ant work together, right? That could work for 1 year while you're waiting for somebody.
I love that.
Folks
deal.
mentioned Giannis. And then again, I'm just going to go back to it and say it. I think Devin Booker is a guy that we all need to monitor. I don't know how much longer he's going to stay in Phoenix. It just hasn't worked for him. So, like, at some point, a team like Minnesota, they got to make the phone call to say, like, what would it take to get him off the team? Like, I'm looking at the former MVPs, current MVPs, and guys that have been top 5 in the league that can't crack the Western Conference Finals. If I'm any of those guys, I'm looking at how do I team up with Ant? Because he's the only one that's proven I can get you past a Jokic. I can compete if there's a Wemby, and even if it's me against Shea, like that is dead even.
And you put me in a series, I'm gonna give you a shot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like in a series, I think in any series, doesn't matter who they're playing, he gives you at least 2 games.
Yeah.
Now you know what I think Minnesota's only chance is that when the expansion comes in, they move to the East. That's the only shot they got.
Wow.
And I really think about it when
got close with
expansion
this
comes
team.
in. Right now, I don't know if it's 100% set, but it's looking like Seattle and Las Vegas. There's 2 in the West.
Yep.
Somebody is going to have to move. And either Minnesota, New Orleans. Minnesota, I would literally be sending fruit basket to the commissioner and like, please.
Or
choose
Memphis.
us.
I actually think that there's a chance,
I
Melvin.
think it's New Orleans.
I think it's Memphis.
It could be Memphis.
It could be
It could be
Memphis.
Minnesota. But there's another team that's technically further east than both of those teams. OKC. Then your league can get, for the next 10 years, Wemby versus Shea.
Man.
Wait,
just
how does
saying.
Man.
If I'm Adam Silver,
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not happy that you're right about that. I'm like, because that happens. You're right. The NBA gets the finals it probably once
Every year.
for a decade. And then we're back to watching the Warriors against the Cavs for 7 straight years. Is what we're back to.
think about the future of the league.
Which I think the NBA was at a great time when that was happening. Like, listen, there's things that we want parity, we want different championships. No, like that's a cute idea, but we went through Jordan, Lakers,
I like to see
Boston,
dominance.
dynasties. That's what the NBA is about.
I like to see a
dynasties.
team just like just dominate.
It's the biggest complaint about the East is that there's no parity with the West. How do you create parity with game Look at that game one. If you didn't watch that game
I'm
one
not gonna
between
lie
the
to you,
Spurs and OKC,
and this might be blasphemous. Best game one of a conference final I've ever seen in my life.
It was the craziest.
It was
thing
crazy game one.
Yeah, like double overtime.
I don't know, and I know this is not. I'm just bringing up. I don't know how you stop him. I like my brain and my NBA knowledge is telling me, and all of history is telling me, you need to go through your ups and downs before you make it. This team is too young; they can't. But the only thing different is they got Wemby, bro.
yes.
And I honestly don't know if you can beat them 4 times in a series. I don't know if you can. Have we seen it? We've never seen it.
They would have lost if he didn't make that freaking half-court shot.
That's the greatness of his game.
Yeah,
And
but
Jordan
it's just
doesn't move on if he doesn't hit the shot on Elo.
right,
Like,
but
you know what I mean?
I'm
It's
just saying, like, it is possible.
no, of course it's possible, but like,
But there's your popcorn, Melvin, right? Minnesota, yes, pray Adam Silver moves you east. But if you send them in OKC, then you got the Celtics, OKC, and Minnesota competing every single year with the
I
Knicks
also
in there.
think OKC is eventually
want
going to
them-
hit the
I
same
don't want
problem Boston had, where you can't pay everybody eventually. But also, Sixers gifted them. Like, I think here's my hot take: if I'm OKC, and I know they're not on the list, but I'm gonna say it anyways. If I'm OKC, I pick up the phone call on Jalen Williams calls.
Damn it. He's one of
Because
my
you got
favorite-
AJ Mitchell coming up. You got another
I know,
guard
I know.
who you just got the Sixers.
They're not on
Jalen
the list.
Williams expensive. You're gonna have eventually. You can't pay everybody.
He just had
so
such a-
maybe you get
And they have like 15 draft picks for the next
So they're good.
6 years. Yeah.
So they're good.
Just watching him play yesterday,
And-
I was just like,
What, to
I
offload
miss
money?
Huh?
To offload money or
eventually
to
the
get
second
somebody?
They're gonna run into the Celtics problem when they
Yeah.
have to get rid of people.
But I miss seeing him play.
But like,
he was-
bro,
I love
they
his
won
game.
60 plus
Jalen
games
Williams.
without him this season.
I know.
I forgot he was even
They're gonna-
out,
they're gonna
bro.
James Harden
You
him.
forgot he was out.
Yeah.
They're gonna James Harden
I-
him. He's
And,
gonna-
hey, you know what Sam Presti's about.
If we were here in June and they get eliminated, I'm with Melvin that the second apron is eventually going to kill all the homegrown teams that have added talent because fundamentally you can only have 2 max contract guys, and then you got guys that are emerging like Mitchell. He looks pretty good.
Yeah,
So I'm with you.
He really does. But I feel like if you get rid of Williams, that's it for the championships.
No.
I don't think so.
I know he's not that I get it, but I just feel like
Mitchell moves up.
I think Mitchell moves up.
Chet moves up.
Why can't I remember?
but they
what's it,
won't.
McCain?
they're not
McCain
the
is like.
same.
McCade.
They're not the
Casey
same.
Wallace,
good.
McCade's there.
You got a couple pieces that I don't think
You got
I
Isaiah
don't
Joe
think-
waiting on the best wizard.
Bro, I
right?
don't think
you got enough
losing
pieces.
Jalen Williams. Listen, Jalen was a phenomenal player, and also.
But it's just
It
like
might be a James Harden situation where like he
it's 'cause-
goes to another team and he's one of the best players in the
number one,
league.
But it's
You know
because
what I
they
mean?
won together. Like it's
I
just
get it.
like
I get it.
I don't. It's like the idea is like, oh, JB and
But the difference
JT,
being you
but
have
it's
you had
money.
Chet there too,
It's
right? So you
mon-
can say
it-
it's
oh yeah.
This is
I don't know.
This is an inevitable move. If you can't, somebody's gonna have to go, dude.
you can't do the max for the 3 guys. Chet, you got Williams, and you got Shea.
You can't
They
pay
can't
3 of
do
them.
all 3 of them with a super max. You just can't do it.
So, all right, the Sixers. I think we already mentioned it about a lot of the. No, it's just definitely getting rid of Embiid and maybe getting rid of Paul George. I think your future looks bright, but it'll look much brighter if you get rid of those 2 guys who are probably the worst 2 contracts in the league. But you got gifted with Edgecombe. You got you got Maxey, who's a top 5 player in the NBA. You're looking all right. Can you stay? I mean, you fight through the next couple of years until these guys are off your books, and you just see what happens, or do you actively do a Dame Lillard with Embiid and be like, bro, we'll just buy you out and you just go wherever you want, or Paul George, bro, we'll just buy you out and you can go wherever you want.
I think there's still value in their contracts, the type of players that they are. You got other teams that are hungry to try to compete, and they offer one as a former superstar that showed you flashes in this playoffs, that in the right system where it's not all the pressure on him, he can be a force that you just cannot stop. So I think you do move on. I agree with you from both of those guys because it's $100 million in salary that, like, again, you got to save some of that for Edgecombe, and you need to bring in a younger player. So, like, my question is if you look at who's, like, disgruntled, who's out there, who's younger or who adds greater value. Like guys like Zion Williamson come to mind. Like Zion and those two
Why'd I
guards
forget about
would
him?
be
You know what's crazy? Like we talk all this narrative about Zion. I think Zion played 60 games last year.
Yeah.
And he had unfortunately he's in New Orleans, which like I don't understand what there's New Orleans, Sacramento. There's just some franchises that are like you should.
I've been to that arena. I watched the game. There's no culture, bro.
No culture.
Like compared to going to a Celtics game, the lack of like extracurricular stuff and like it's like
It's just boring.
You feel like you're just watching a basketball.
You guys
game.
have anything to add on the Sixers? We talked a lot about them. I don't think we must.
I don't.
I mean, as a GM, I'm looking to improve. You know, definitely, like I said, get rid of Embiid. But PG got to go. I don't even like Oubre. I'd package him too.
I think
He's
you
upset.
have to because he gained some value this year.
And Oubre's upset. Oubre's upset. He was talking about his role being diminished with Embiid out and he coming back in and not getting the same number of shots. So
That's not a bad play for the Celtics.
But just revamp around
Maxey and Edgecombe.
Maxey and Edgecombe.
All right. Anything for the Sixers?
Nope.
And lastly on the list, the Denver Nuggets, who have just realized that unfortunately their championship window is shrinking because they're just. I think during the regular season it was a like, will it be Denver, San Antonio, OKC, and I think we've clearly see that those two are above anybody else in the West, and I believe now the Denver Nuggets are in catch-up mode to maximize whatever all the years you have left of Jokic. Jamal Murray, I don't know. Some playoffs he's amazing, in some playoffs he disappears. He looked not too well against Minnesota.
Yeah.
What moves do you make if you're Denver? Aaron Gordon, I think you gotta figure something out. He cannot play. He can't make it to the playoffs. He just can't. Stop. And the whole narrative is like if Aaron Gordon's available, he's not. That's like this. It's getting to the point that the whole Joel Embiid, the same thing. If we had Joel, it's kind of like if we had Aaron Gordon. So something has to happen. Or you just cool with just looking up to these two teams for the rest of the decade.
I think this is a good opportunity to get Lauri Markkinen.
If Utah even wants to get rid of him.
Or like, but I do feel like Murray and Jokic need to stay there. It's just
I don't
there's
know.
just a little tweaks.
I don't know about moving them two.
A couple little tweaks in the supporting cast. They don't
You
have.
think they miss Michael Porter?
Yeah.
That's what I was.
that was going to be my comment. I think the trade that they made for Michael Porter, that was short-sighted. I get that. Like
Cam Johnson.
he didn't show up, but Cam Johnson is not the same caliber of player. And look at Michael Porter Jr. when you give him a little bit of freedom.
Yeah.
Look at him. That's what they needed, a wing scorer.
Is his contract up? Because that would be someone.
To get right back.
Detroit, that might be a phone call they
Oh
make.
yeah.
Detroit definitely needs to call.
They need to call Brooklyn. I think everybody should call Brooklyn because, like,
Yeah.
They're for sale.
everybody's for sale. I think Brooklyn, and just real quick, and then we'll move on. I think Brooklyn should trade up, do whatever you do. You need the dude from Arkansas. What's his name? Acuff. You need Acuff in the Brooklyn Nets jersey. Because people will at least come see him. I think he has some Kyrie in him. I think he's going to be a star.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn, you need someone to just show up to the damn building.
Yeah.
A-Cuff would definitely
All right.
perfect for that.
Manny, you are the state representative for the great city of Salem, Massachusetts. So let's talk about a little bit about Salem, Mass. We're getting a new school.
That's right. School.
I've seen a couple clips of the newspaper. I'm sorry, I have not been kind of keeping up with the news. How did that come about? And if you could tell us a little bit about what the school will look like and what the future students of Salem High have to look forward to.
Absolutely. So I'm excited to say that, yes, we are getting a new high school for our kids.
Wow.
It's certainly what they deserve. And the process for this actually began while we were all in high school. So back in the early 2000s, they had already identified that the building needed repair. So you may remember, Ariel, that we were in modular classrooms as freshmen at Salem High School. And the modular classrooms were actually nicer than the rest of the building.
Yeah, it really was.
And so we were doing what they called phase one repairs, right? So they were fixing one side of the building, and then they were going to move on to what was called phase two. As we were getting closer to graduation, what happened in Salem right around like 2010, 11, 12, we saw declining enrollment start to happen. More kids started leaving the system, and we actually fell below the 50% threshold that was required. So if you build a school in Massachusetts, the law says one of the components for getting into the repair program or building a new school is that if you build a school for 2,000 kids, which that's what Salem High was built for in 1977, that you need to have over 50% of the capacity filled. Salem dipped underneath that number, so we no longer qualified for the MSBA's program. So every year, right, we were trying to keep up with the repairs, but despite the efforts of the staff, the school committee, the mayor, you needed the state money to be able to overhaul the building, and we never got it. And then eventually we shift from applying for accelerated repair to putting in an application every year for a new high school. But the same response is what we got from the MSBA, which is you can't do it, you're under the 50%. You can't do it, you're under the 50%. And then when I got on the school committee, which again was 8 years ago, I just actually finished my last term of service.
Okay.
Thank you. It was an honor to serve the kids, the families, the educators, and to be able to give back to my hometown.
Wait. So you can't be on it no more?
I decided not to run for re-election to the school committee. So I'm only the state representative for the city of Salem. I wanted to finish my term because this is my message to the kids. You finish what you start, and that's what I did on the committee.
All right, perfect.
But when I first got on the school committee, that was like my first conversation with the then superintendent was, what is going on with this MSBA application, and why do we keep submitting the same thing? So it took us getting a new superintendent, who's now the Secretary of Education, Steve Zreich. But I remember coming to him and other committee members saying, like, we need to be bold. We put together what was called a master facilities plan. We started examining what was going on with all of our buildings. And one of the things that we learned was that if we put what they call reconfiguration on the table, there was a chance that they would consider the new high school. So what did that mean? That means that if you're willing to look at your grade configurations all over the district, so traditionally you have K through 5, you got a middle school in Salem, you have a K through 8. If you're willing to look at the high school and say, maybe we'll consider doing something different. So the thing that we put in our application, because we explored it, was like we would take a look at doing a combined middle school, high school campus. That put us over the 50% threshold. And we also looked at all of the other programs, the maintenance required. So we were, in 2021, finally accepted into the program, and they said, congratulations, you're in the program for MSBA for a new school building. Now the community has to go out and decide over the next 3 years of this process what it is that you want to do. So as a school committee, we appointed what was called a building committee. That's required by the law. So this is not the school committee. It's members of the community. They came together over the last couple of years to really go through a process of determining what was feasible. My preferred option, I just want to be very clear, was that actually we would build a joint middle school, high school campus where the kids would have access to the CTE program at the middle school level. You'd finally configure the building in a way that allowed for kids that were in the culinary arts program to also have access to things like AP or early college, and for things not to feel so siloed. Because that was like the problem with Salem High School. If you went in from an academic perspective, it was like you had CTE, the career voc tech programs are in one wing, you have the arts in one wing, then you got the academics on another. And if you're an educator trying to collaborate and tell kids that, like, regardless of which pathway you choose, like, you can make your own choices, that wasn't true in that building. The other thing is that the building is the most inefficient building in the entire city of Salem. The amount of problems, and Manny, I know you're an HVAC, so you'll understand what I mean. The systems were built in the 70s. And two different parts of the building, you had this one that was repaired in phase 1, could not communicate with the part that had not been repaired.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, that means that in the winters, right, the building is way overheated, and during the summers, it's hard to cool down. And the cost was just getting astronomical. So the building committee came back and said, we want to, go through this process, and they had a recommendation of a smaller footprint, but something that was more focused on creating a campus experience for the high school experience that reflected the population we were serving, which is close to now 1,000 students. So, what that means is we're getting a smaller footprint. It's going to be more efficient. It's going to use the latest technology and clean energy. And then also from an academic standpoint, we're going to get rid of the silos. So kids that are choosing to do what we call the early college program, which means they're going out to Salem State, they're getting anywhere between 15 to 30 college credits before they graduate, which is huge. And if you're doing that and you're doing, let's say, the CTE program at the same time, Like, we're going to reconfigure this building in a way that allows for STEM opportunities for kids to actually really exist and for those kids to collaborate. They're going to get new athletic fields. And then there's going to be opportunities for our educators, right, to reimagine the spaces of learning. So, I think that's the exciting opportunity is the academic piece is really going to change. You're going to get that cost saving on the efficiency within the building. And the other part is the state is going to pay for 50%. They're going to allocate about $220 or so million. So they're going to cover half the cost of the project, which if Salem voters had rejected this, we would have had to re-enter into the process. There's a chance that we don't get another grant. And the thing that's happening with construction costs, especially for public construction, same thing in the private market. The cost to build has just gone up astronomically. So if we had done this back in 2006 when we were students, before you graduated and started this process, it would have cost us significantly less. So I know that for some Salem residents, they're thinking to themselves, like, this is a lot of money. It's going to go on my tax bill. I'm a homeowner as well. I know we're dealing with an affordability crisis, but this investment is in the future of our kids. There's going to be a return. And the piece that I think was missing from the conversation that folks don't understand is, like, people were asking me, like, oh, well, why can't the tourism pay for it? Right now, cities and towns don't have the option to do local taxing in a way that's different, aside from going to the levy and taxing home buyers and homeowners. So, like, what we can do as a city is we could actually go out and say, right now, community-based conversations. The mayor already started this. He's upping before we didn't charge, like, the tourist bus to come in and park in the city. Well, now they're going to pay, like, a couple $100s to park in the city, and that's tied to the lifespan of the project. So we can pay down the debt and actually accelerate the process. So, what I'm working with the mayor on now is, like, for our homeowners, we're going to find ways to give you relief. So whether that's, thinking about new revenue that's targeted at our visitors that are coming here. Like, the example I give people all the time is, like, we got the World Cup coming this summer.
Yep.
Well, you had these World Cup teams. They were looking to come to universities to host their teams. Well, the next time we get a major event like that, Salem is a tourist destination. We have hotels. We have a university with athletic fields. We're going to be pitching Salem to these teams and saying, you want to stay on our campus? You want to use our facilities? Okay. We want you to help us pay down our high school debt. Then you can use our state-of-the-art soccer field. Or we can consider something like an Airbnb tax that's tied to the visitation period in September through October, where we know tourists are coming to Salem. They're using our roads and our bridges. They'll pay for the high school. So I think that we have this opportunity to make sure that our community doesn't feel the burden in terms of the cost. And then the formula for how we fund public buildings, it can change during this period. It will change during this period. So municipalities will get more. That's what I'm committed to advocating for. But fundamentally, like, when this building does open in a couple of years, what we're going to see is a state-of-the-art high school that allows Salem to continue its trajectory. A lot of people don't know this, but we went from being in the bottom 10% of districts in the state to being the number one city, gateway city for public education. Wow. So that we climbed from the bottom of the pool of districts, out of that bottom 10% to now being ranked the number one for gateway cities. So when you look at all the other urban districts in the Commonwealth, we are at number one. We're not satisfied with that, but Salem High was already named as a school of recognition. And that means that we were one of the top high schools in the state of Massachusetts. When we get this new building and it opens, what I can promise you is we're going to keep up that momentum and we're going to take Salem to new heights. And I talk to the building principal all the time, Glenn Burns, who's been a great leader for the district. And he tells me all the time, we got schools from all over the country who are coming to see what we did in Salem. How did you go from bottom 10% to number one as a gateway city? And how did you get your high school to become a school of recognition? So I think that Salem, has this unique opportunity to really be the flagship for the state in terms of what it takes to educate all students. And so, that's a huge project that I'm super excited about and what it's going to mean for our kids. And as y'all know, I'm about to be a dad of 3 now.
Congrats, man.
Yes. So we just celebrated my daughter's 5th birthday. My son will celebrate his 3rd at the end of the month, and then we're going to welcome our baby boy on the same day. So, this is about the next generation.
Yeah. I mean,
that's dope.
Even not knowing I didn't know all the background information, but I think we all knew we needed a new school.
Oh, yeah.
That was 100%. Now, my only question is, and this might be just I don't know the stuff about building and stuff like that. Man, that basketball court looks beautiful. Are we gonna keep that basketball court?
I'm so glad you asked. So this was actually something that, in my role as a state representative, I've been pushing for ever since I got elected. So myself and State Senator Joan Lovely, we worked together to actually get an earmark from the millionaire's tax to be able to pay for that court. It's something I've been pushing for years because I don't want our kids to have to wait for a new building to enjoy it. So we've done a lot of things that have enhanced the Salem High School experience. And when I pitched this idea to the superintendent, I made it very clear. I was like, I want to buy a court that is like the Celtics parquet floor, that comes apart, that you can put it back together. That court was built panel by panel. You can move it around. And so the actual intention would be that we would actually move that court to another school when the new high school is built, because we will get another floor, but we're going to use the same exact type of style, because what we recognize is, like, as long as you take care of your floor, it'll last for a long time. And there's history tied to that court. So
state championship tied to that court, baby.
That's right. Man. So they'll keep that court for the time being, for sure. But our intention is, if we can't get in our state proposal the money, we can keep that court for the new high school without question. And if not, we'll move it to another school that will put good use to it, because I visit all the schools, and I'll tell you, they all have this need. So whether it's Collins Middle School, the elementary schools, Horace Mann, I think, is up next. Saltonstall is now going to merge with Carleton. So I think about those kids all the time, and we need to make our play spaces reflective of the needs of our kids. And we know, like, good hardwood floor, it's the safest place for our kids to play.
Right. And one last thing, I know we're getting a little long here on the time. It's beautiful to see Gallows Hill Court nice and painted, nice and fresh.
The return.
It's almost there. We're almost there.
Yeah,
beautiful.
This is part of my annual update on Mansell Field. I want to give a shout out to the mayor and Parks and Rec and everybody who's advocated.
We honestly want to give a shout out to you, because we bother you a lot about this. Like, it's been like 6 years of like, Manny, what's going on? I want to play basketball. But it's looking like it's coming together, and it's looking great, and we're looking forward to playing there.
I can't wait to play. Can't wait to bring the kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? We have reached my favorite part of the show. It's a DJ Bofka set of questions.
DJ Bofka. You are now in the mix with DJ Bofka.
The DJ Bofka set of questions is a game we play at the end of every episode, man. And you played this a bunch of times. It's a simple game. They give you two choices. You just pick one or the other one. Because of the Manny G rule, I do have to ask you the first question again, because it's the same first question every time. Jordan or LeBron?
LeBron all day.
Wrong Manny.
Oops. We can't edit that out, but Manny, I think the question was for me. I'm not changing my answer ever. It's Michael Jordan.
Right.
Yes. It'll always be Michael Jordan.
Forever, it's Jordan.
It's not. Listen, being the second or third best player of all time, it's not bad.
I don't know why him and his camp are so upset about it.
I had this conversation at the barbershop. I went to go see our friend Ezekiel, Clean Cut Studio. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
Shout out to Easy. And we were having this conversation in the shop with respect. Everything LeBron has accomplished is great. I think he's a phenomenal ambassador for the game of basketball. But when I look at the two peaks and what they accomplished, and when it mattered most, that run, LeBron's run is impressive. It puts him, to me, above Kobe and Kareem, and that's a lot.
That's a lot.
But not above Jordan.
No. All right. Who would you take to be the leader of your franchise? Donovan Mitchell or Jalen Brunson?
Oh, God. Two guys I cannot stand. Just kidding. Shout out to Jalen Brunson. It's him.
I mean, they're both small guards, so I have to pick. I mean, my issue with, like, I don't
Donovan
believe
Mitchell's
your best player being under 6'2". I don't think you can win a championship like that.
Donovan Mitchell's 6'4".
Yeah, he is 6'4".
And I'm sure.
Questionably. Jalen Brunson.
No, but he doesn't even look like a small guard. He's like a D Wade kind of player.
Yeah, he's a smaller guard, for sure.
No,
I would have a small. You can say whatever you want on the chart. Whatever you want on this player.
You don't even, if you see him, if you remember Garland next to him, that was a small guard.
He's taller than Brunson.
Listen, but Brunson, if I'm being respectful, his dad's a Salem guy. I love the way he plays the game. He's led his team very far, and he hasn't been traded yet already, which just shows me that the guy. Wait, no, he was traded. Never mind.
No, he signed
on the Mavs.
Yeah, he signed with the Mavs. No, he wasn't traded. You're right. So, I think Donovan Mitchell wore out his welcome in Utah, and I don't know if it's going to work out for him in Cleveland. I don't see them getting past the Knicks.
I think that was going to be a very interesting question if they didn't beat Detroit on what you do, because I think he is contract extension eligible. And how much do you want to pay Donovan Mitchell? And does he really want to stay in Cleveland? Remember, he went from Utah to Cleveland. I think he might want to go to a bigger market. We'll see.
I'd take him on the Celtics, but
What was the question though? Who would you rather have?
Be the leader of your
I'm
franchise?
going with Jalen Brunson, and shout out to Rick Brunson.
I'm picking Donovan Mitchell.
I'll probably go with Jalen Brunson too. I seen him win more.
Yeah, same.
All right. What would you rather have? A championship ring in whatever sport you choose, or a gold medal in whatever sports?
Championship ring in the NBA.
Of course, for sure.
I don't know, man.
That's
just let me paint you the picture. Plane lands. You can feel the humidity outside. Everybody starts to clap on the plane because you just landed in the beautiful country of ours, of DR. And on your neck is a gold medal for your country.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
The stairs come down. You already know there's a whole typical band and about thousands of people waiting for you. And you might have won in table tennis, bro. It doesn't matter what.
All right. I paint you an alternative picture. You're at the World Baseball Classic. You're descending down into Santiago Airport. Would you rather have the championship there as a Dominican, or would you rather have a gold medal in a meaningless sport like, I don't know, water polo?
I mean, if you put up the World Baseball Classic, I mean...
No, but think about Al Horford, him coming back with the trophy.
I know, but...
That's different.
It would have been the same thing if it was a gold medal. Dude, I remember someone won last Olympics for what do we want?
Type of
it was
track.
Running, right? Track running. And he got a parade.
I'm pretty sure,
but
Melvin,
Horford got something
you
too.
had the most transformative experience going to the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, it did.
Changed my life.
That
Changed my
environment
life.
is
Changed my life.
so much better than the Olympics.
It literally made me fall in love with baseball again.
Yeah, same.
Me too.
I did not...
And I didn't even go to the game. I was just watching it from home, and I was like, this is incredible.
It's incredible.
And I'll say, I've said it a million times on the podcast. I'll say it again. The minute that I walked into, I forget, it was at Lone Depot Park in Miami. I walk in, and you felt the crowd. We walked in the middle of the first inning because, Dominicans, we always late. It was the middle of the first inning. We walk in, and I've never felt an atmosphere like that. And I never have. I've never.
Like your soul.
And I've been to playoff games. I've been to. It's like
out of body
Fenway
experience.
will never be the same for me.
Yeah, true.
Because of that.
So that's my point.
All
That's
right,
why.
growing up, both of these video games have a movie or a movie coming. Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter?
Oh, gotta be Mortal Kombat.
I was definitely a Mortal Kombat guy.
Me too.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right. That was good. I think I've asked this a couple times before. You're up by 3. The other team has the ball. Less than 10 seconds. Do you foul or do you play defense straight up?
Less than 10 seconds? Like, how much time are we talking?
Yeah, like less than 10 seconds.
I'm playing defense straight up. I got all the confidence in the world in myself.
I agree.
You fouling?
I mean, there's 10 seconds left. Less than 10 seconds left. I'd foul because I know I'm going to hit the 3.
I don't think you understand.
I don't think that was the question.
Wait.
Your team is up.
Oh,
You're on defense. You're up 3.
Oh.
Do you foul, force them to go in the line and shoot 2 free throws?
I understood.
or do you-
I understood. I was down 3. I'm like, well, if you let the clock run out,
I'm gonna hit the shot.
I'm gonna have to test.
I like the confidence, though, Manny.
you know.
All right, he didn't even hesitate. Say, I'm gonna hit the shot.
Okay, yeah, I understood. I was down 3. Okay, yeah.
I don't.
play D.
Coach, you can coach. I don't understand. There's so much wrong that could happen if you try to foul. Because these are the best players in the world. They know a foul is coming. They could get that shot. And I know the NBA rules is trying to limit that, which is funny. You know what I thought about a couple days? Remember 15 years ago how rare a 4-point play was?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
now
a
they're
3-point
happening all the
shooter
time.
getting fouled. Like, oh wow, you have that like once a month maybe in the
There was
NBA?
like 5 guys that could hit it.
Yeah, and now it's like
Reggie Miller with the kick.
Yeah.
and now it's like every night in the NBA is a 4-point play. It's crazy how that turned out, huh? It's like the NBA wanted more points. Funny. All right, who would you rather have had on the Celtics their whole career, KG or Ray Allen?
KG.
KG.
I'm a KG guy.
He was like the heart of the. It felt like he was there longer.
I feel like it feels like he played for us the entire career.
I thought it honestly feels like he was here for 20 years. And I know,
Even though
I know it was shorter than that.
I was more. I don't even want to say I'm more of a fan, but I liked his game a lot better on the Wolves. Like he was way more.
I mean, he was younger. He was more.
oh,
I think
he was more mid range.
I think he left.
Him and Marbury, they
that
were
was
a
Doc
good
Rivers
combo.
not knowing how to use.
Yeah.
I think
skill set.
had him on
I
the
think
post
too.
move.
He left Minnesota about 2 to 3 years too late.
Yeah.
Kind of like I think I said the same thing about Dame. I think Dame loyalty killed him a little bit.
It happens.
He didn't have KG, punch him in the chest after eliminating him like LeBron did to say, you got to do something.
Yeah. I get it. All right. Would you rather let your partner choose every movie you watch together or pick every restaurant you eat at?
Every movie that we watch together.
Man, I don't know.
I like picking the food. I just like picking that off her plate.
I do too. But I can compromise. I'm like, all right, we could do Italian.
I know her taste, and
Bro,
I'm just.
I don't know if I can compromise on the type of movies
I'm just
that
gonna
you're
fall
make
asleep.
me go watch.
I think
I
I'm
fall
having
asleep.
to-
I'll just fall asleep.
That's true.
My wife knows me well enough to know that if we watch a movie, even if I pick it, I'm falling asleep.
It don't really matter. Yeah, watch whatever you want, babe. Let's just start it at 8 o'clock. By 8:30, I'm out regardless.
Yeah, definitely falling asleep. But I'm not much of a picky.
And it's
eater.
movies I like, and I'll pick the movie and I'll fall asleep. As a matter of fact, she's watched some of my shows because I fall asleep.
If it was movies, I'd be more comfortable with picking. But if you just say TV, I'm not watching real New Jersey Housewives of like, you know what I mean? I'm not watching, and that's what she's watching.
I'm 1000% watching The Bachelor, Bachelorette when it comes out because ever since Flava Flav and Rock of Love went out, I've needed some garbage TV in my life.
I can't,
and
bro,
I'm
I
a
can't.
part of Bachelor Nation. I'm
not. I
and
can't.
Love Island. Come on, we got Brian.
I'm
Gotta show
not.
my guy some love.
I can't.
Could've
No,
been-
I get
could've
it.
been
Trust
love.
me.
Could've been
Trust-
love with
Trust me,
Drewski.
these guys are killing me with this stuff. Trust me, I just can't. I've never been into reality shows. I think the last one I watched was I famously say Making the Band when they put Day 26 together.
That was pretty good.
That
Making
was
the
pretty
Band
good.
fold.
After that, I wasn't really watching.
You missed out on the Flavor Flav though. The hip-
No, I think Flavor Flav was before that. I watched Flavor Flav.
Drewski
That was
could've been love.
I've been trying to catch that feeling ever since.
Nah, man, I just watched game one of the Western Conference Finals.
That too.
And get that thrill.
Yeah. it's-
All right, we are in the New England area. Would you rather have a lobster roll or roast beef three-way?
Roast beef three-way. I'm in the North Shore. Come on.
It depends on the season for me.
Kelly's.
Nah, I don't really go to
You go to
Kelly's.
Kelly's. You got Mike's.
Wait, and what?
Jimmy's.
Kelly's for roast beef.
Jimmy's.
You talking about Jamie's is good.
Jamie's is fire.
Jamie's.
Shout out to Jamie's.
Jamie's is fire.
And then Bill
Butcher.
and Bob late night. The Butcher. Don't
Bob
get me
Butcher.
started, man. That's
So roast beef more often. It probably has a more chosen.
lobster roll during the summer. You
But
know,
I'm a big lobster roll.
I mean,
guy.
roast
Like,
beef for me because you can get three ways for the price of one lobster roll.
True.
Legit. That's a fast point.
yeah, that's a good.
That
point.
is true.
But I mean, we know, right? The North Shore beef is the most famous sandwich
Iconic.
that we got. It's iconic, and you can have it every day. A lobster roll.
It's seasonal.
It's seasonal. I think in the summertime I'm with you. Like if I'm at Sea Level or Fins, but nah, it's the lobster roll.
The other day I got a haircut. I was downtown. I'm like, it was a beautiful day. I was like, let me just go to a lobster shanty. Let me just go get me
It's
a
a good
lobster.
call. Yeah, listen, I'm
Right
with you
there, walking
seasonally.
distance.
Lobster
I was like,
Roast
Shanty's
beef is
legit.
like my
it
go-to.
was a beautiful vibe. I'm
Lobster shanty's legit.
Are you guys with me that like it feels weird going to Bill and Bob's and like at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon?
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't.
No, it's not.
It
We're
has to be. It
Like,
has to be
yeah.
late night.
And I drive by like it's too early. I literally said to myself like it's too early.
The only time is when I leave here, I guess.
I did Bill
Bill
and
and
Bob's
Bob's
for
not
lunch
bad.
for the family for my daughter's birthday weekend. It was like 3 o'clock. Felt totally normal.
It was great. they have everything.
The food is good.
gotta try
Yo,
Jamie- you gotta
like,
try
Cheeser
Jamie's,
teasers taste
No,
good
I
at
tried
3.
Jamie's.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what's crazy is like
Broccoli bites
when you
are-
bring like I brought my girl there who's not from the North Shore. But she started like looking at other stuff in the menu. We're like, I don't know about y'all. I've never looked at the other stuff in the menu.
It's all good.
At Bill and
it's
Bob's?
like-
Really
I was like,
good, bro.
They got steak and cheese subs here, like
Yeah, you
chicken
never-
wraps.
At Bill and Bob's?
Yeah, you don't realize
I've never-
that.
So good. I'm telling you. All right.
Oh, sorry. We sit here talking about lobster rolls and roast beef.
Different show.
Yeah, right.
Different show. All right. Who has a better season next year, Trae Young or John Morant?
Ugh. John Morant.
I think out of necessity.
Yeah.
You have to.
Trae Young just looks like he doesn't want to play anymore.
Trae Young is
He's just
not,
always hurt too.
not healthy. Doesn't seem like he loves the game.
Yeah.
The only time he ever thrived was as a villain against New York, and it was in a year
Yeah.
that he got lucky.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you put him in the right situation. Like, the boy can close games. You know what I mean? He's not a scrub.
Bro, he was averaging like
When he's healthy, I'm telling you, he's a great player.
and
He had
like,
many
he's a
seasons.
person who does not shy away from the bright lights. You seen him what he did at the Garden.
he led the league in assists
Maybe
many
maybe-
years.
It's true, too.
I'm gonna say Detroit makes that call, but I don't know if that works.
It will.
He needs to be playing on a really good defensive team.
Absolutely.
And he always.
But again,
he
like
always has that.
I saw, and again, I think obviously the Warriors are the extreme comparison and like evidence for it. But I seen Golden State hide Steph Curry for 15 years.
And Steph Curry also did his part to get stronger, to play better defense in those championship years. So, like, I'll give Steph Curry his credit. That's not something I see those little guards doing.
Right.
Yeah,
I
I feel
agree.
you. All right, who out of the top 4 of the draft last year, which is Cooper Flag, Knipple, Edgecombe, and Harper, right? Would you take those 4, or this year's
Top 3?
DeBonsa, Boozer, Peterson, or Caleb Wilson?
So I would take this past year's draft, and I say this with all due respect to these new guys that are coming in. What I have seen out of Harper, Flag, and Knipple has been incredible, and in particular, Harper and Knipple contributed to winning.
Bro, did you
Right away, but Harper-
is 20 years old. He had 7 steals in that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Like San Antonio, their
even-
picks, again, like all lottery picks. Talk about a team hitting on their lottery picks.
Right.
Stephon Castle, Wembanyama, and then Harper. And people forget Harper's the second pick in the draft. I think, like,
I always forget.
I don't know if everybody talks about this year's draft being crazy. Look at it back. The top 4 are potentially all-stars.
Let's not forget Cooper Flag had an amazing.
Crazy
It's to the point where we were
Record-setting year.
He was like
Dallas just said, like, oh, yeah, we don't need anybody else. I guess Kyrie, you could chill, but everybody else is gone because we got the next great white hope on our team, and it's going to be fantastic for 20
With all
years.
due
he was, like,
respect
adapting,
to
like-
the guys this year. I think there's one big question mark that we're all hearing about. We're all hearing question marks about Boozer, and I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's going to translate.
I watched him the entire year.
I don't like his foot. I don't like his footwork.
I don't know. I think I like his footwork. I just don't. I don't know offensively if he's going to have enough. I don't know who he can really guard. I think he's in between positions a little bit.
Yep, he's a tween.
I've seen.
He's gonna be like Jabari Parker.
No, Jabari Parker. Jabari Parker just got bad injuries.
He's going to be like Okafor. It's just not
Exactly.
going to work. It's not going to translate.
It might not. And he's looking like probably going to Memphis. Memphis, he can get some garbage points. He might, get a nice second contract from there, maybe. But I don't see him. He's out of the 4 guys going. I think he's the least likely to make the All-Star, but I think he's the least likely to bust either. You know what I mean? Caleb Wilson could be is boom or bust. Peterson, I think
Wilson has like
I think Peterson and him.
100%, like, in my opinion, star
He was hurt a lot. He was hurt a lot.
No, he wasn't.
So I think the gap is
He has one
it's
small
not that
injury.
big of a gap. But what we saw out of the guys this year was just incredibly special. We're never going to see a class as good as this again. Like, I just think between what Harper did, what Knipple did, and Cooper Flag, like, this is a historic rookie class.
Yeah, Cooper Flag led a whole NBA team on his own, really.
You never see a top 3.
and then once he adapted, at first it was like questioning. Once he adapted,
But y'all had Scal on here. Scal will tell you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
every time Cooper plays in a game, in a league, you name it.
He has that Wemby attitude.
It takes a bit for him to warm up,
Yeah.
and then once he figures it out,
notice
the game slows down
how
for him.
quiet it got. Like, people stop paying attention because they know he's good. Like,
Yeah.
he's cooking already. You're not even paying attention. You know he's doing.
I think got a little unlucky with the draft lottery. I think they would have a top 5 pick would have really pushed them, but. Kyrie and Cooper Flag down there.
Is Clay
Could be
still
worse.
there?
You could be Indiana.
You could be good Lord,
Could
what a
be
bad
Indiana.
I think we talked about it last episode, but good Lord, what a I don't know how you have a job still, but I think you need to be fired immediately. Just off the tweet. You would have been in my office immediately.
Agreed.
Well, I took a 50-50 shot and I thought we were gonna be lucky. So you bet the entire franchise and you thought you would do some luck. Well, pack your bags and get the hell out. Come on. Absolutely.
You never trade the younger guy for the older guy. You just don't do it.
Ever. We all play 2K, man. I shouldn't be making smarter moves than these GMs.
It's crazy.
Nico Harrison is going to never work in professional sports ever again in his life.
That's right.
I don't think you can hire him in anything.
I think he could be a scout
I don't.
for a college team.
Man, but do you want to see him in the stands? I don't know.
He's gonna be a reporter.
No.
Gonna go do a podcast, maybe.
You might.
Anthony Davis has hurt his whole career. What?
Yeah, I don't want to be.
I know.
It just doesn't make
We're
sense.
not gonna get into it.
for anybody.
Would you rather have a personal driver or a personal chef?
Personal chef. Gotta eat good.
Yeah,
I don't like driving,
Chef.
but I feel you.
chef.
I trust myself driving.
I trust myself. I get tired. I don't want to.
And personal chef, I mean, you gotta eat good. It's good for your soul.
Yeah, I need that nutrition.
Not having to worry what you're going to eat every day is a beautiful thing. Last but not least, who would you take in their prime, Carmelo Anthony or Paul George?
It's definitely gonna be Carmelo Anthony.
100%.
You know who I'm picking?
Yeah, Carmelo. Yeah, I don't see where.
He's a problem.
I don't get the whole playoff P persona. He had one run at it in the conference final, and it's never showed up. Carmelo Anthony was a victim of circumstance, but the guy is a top 25 player all time.
Yeah, victim. I don't want to use the word victim. He had a choice, and I think he chose money over winning because he had a chance to be part of that big three in Miami. And he's like, a pay what? A pay cut? Nah, I'm cool. Y'all can do that.
Give me everything.
Y'all can do that. I'll be over here in New York, in the Mecca.
If he doesn't get sent to OKC and the Rockets, he has a different end of career.
Probably.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know. I think
He was still capable.
I understand because and the same thing with Jalen Brunson. Whoever does it, whoever wins a championship for the Knicks, you're goated. You know what I mean? It's a different winning a championship there.
It's like
Like winning a championship here.
They're
People
breaking a
just-
curse.
They'll never forget you.
Never, ever.
Never.
Shout outs.
Shout out.
That is your camera over there, man. If you want any shout outs, go ahead and fire them off.
I want to give a shout out to, first of all, my wife, who is 9 months pregnant. We're going to be welcoming our baby boy. She's been holding it down at the house, so got to give wifey Vanessa a shout out.
For sure.
I'd love to give a shout out to our mayor and our school committee on successfully getting this new high school through. And I want to give a shout out to my friend Trom Nguyen, who is state representative from the city of Andover, who is running to be our next congresswoman. I'm all in for her, and I think that she's going to be an incredible partner for me down in Washington, so I hope folks will give her a good look. And then I want to give a shout out to my friends here at 806 for holding it down. Y'all run the best sports podcast, not just in the North Shore,
Period.
through the entire state.
Period.
I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you
and then
too, man.
got to give a shout out to Sidelines. We had some wings earlier.
Thank you, Sidelines. Delicious.
Delicious.
Absolutely fire. So got to give a shout out to my guy Adam. And then last but not least, because I think it's just really important for us to mention him. Got to give a shout out to my boy Sanchez, who's not here tonight.
Yeah,
but I love you,
absolutely.
Superman.
Yeah, right.
That's right. Sanchez.
Shout out Sanchez.
Not PTO, but he has the superstars make their own schedules, man. You know what I mean? Superstars, when you have control of a team and you know you got the leverage, you can kind of
Sit back.
and kind of pick your own
It's
thing.
good having another Manny around.
Absolutely. The
go
name of this
wrong.
episode is definitely the one with two Mannys, for sure.
The one with two Mannys.
Both of the Mannys, thank y'all for stopping by. It's been a pleasure. I always love chopping it off and talking sports and sailing with you.
Some good hoop talk.
Until next time. Co-host REG, co-host Manny, I'm Melly Mel. We'll see y'all next week. Adios.
We out.
Muchachos.
Yeah.
Peace.
Wrap.
806 The Show is a proud member of the Vibe Entertainment family, so make sure you follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as well as Facebook and the Gram. Leave us some comments, hit us with some likes, show us some love. You already know. It's 806 The Show.
806 The Show, you heard? Take that. 806 the show.